What event made you realize your parents were not the people you thought they were?
I noticed early on that mom never had anything nice to say about anyone when they weren't around. My mother is a narcissist. The worst part is she smiles in people's faces and talks to them like she's best friends with them. Then she turns around and bad mouths them behind their backs. My mother is an extremely toxic human. I haven't spoken to her in 2 years, and I don't plan to ever speak to her again.
Discovering my father had a mistress, I was shocked and heartbroken. Then, I watched my mother become a doormat and turn to alcohol over the affair. He went back and forth for over a decade. My parents stayed together to the end, but I don't know how or why. I lost all respect for my father. I was married with my own family when this all came out, but I had younger siblings still living at home. Infidelity is devastating to the entire family, and any of those affair apologists out there cannot refute that.
When my third grade teacher let my mom and I stay in her house for a few nights after my dad had a drunken rampage in our home, she had a few bottles of really good smelling Victoria's Secret vanilla scented perfume in her bathroom. When I was expressing to my mom how amazing it smelled, she encouraged me to steal one of the bottles because my teacher wouldn't notice if one were missing. Even as a child, it really puzzled me that she told me it was okay to steal from the woman who was letting us stay in her home out of the goodness of her heart.
When they put me in a mental institution for 9 months based on a lie, it was the most traumatic experience of my life at the time. I was 15 and turned 16 in there. I was depressed but didn't want to die until I got there. I didn't even know I was going until the police showed up at 11:30 one night and took me away. The place was filthy and there were drugs, bullying from staff. Medication was never consistent. We were not allowed outside because someone escaped 2 years prior, and the list goes on.
One year, I lost my job and was poor. My parents have a comfortable life, so I asked them if they could support me with food, just for 1 or 2 months. I've always been obedient, a good student, and so on, and this was the first time I'd struggled with life. They refused, because I'm an adult, then turned around and bought a car for $40,000 with cash. I was so sad and disappointed. I still see them, but to me, they're no longer my parents, just two distant family members.